What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. This time we're going to take a look at the foot soldiers from Neca from this Ninja Turtles movie, and you can purchase these figures at GameStop.com because they're the smaller version. However, if you already started the quarter scale version, which they released a while back and they keep on releasing now, head over to BigBadToyStore.com. I'm going to put the link down below. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're a little bit better figure because they're larger in scale, and the larger the figure is, the more details they can pack into it. So head over to Big Bad Toy Store. Plus, if you like hot toys as well, you can check them out as well. So here we go. We're gonna unbox first this. They're two figures, foot soldier bladed weapons, and one is the melee weapons, which is, in theory, they are the same foot soldier, but they just have different weapons. So why did I buy two where they come in a package? As you saw earlier from the boxes, when I pre-ordered this at GameStop, you gotta take four. Plus, you wanted two foot soldiers anyway to the left and right of Shredder, so that would look better on him. So, regardless of whether you need two or not, that's out of the question. But this is the other person here, the other foot soldier, and this is the melee weapon. So the only difference really is the weapons that they're holding. But if you don't want them to hold any weapons, because I think on the movie they can, they punch and do karates as well. And I gotta rewatch that movie, man. I have so much good memories when I was a young kid watching that movie back in the 90s, and it was awesome. I think after watching the movie, we rented it on a VHS or Betamax, or I don't even know what was in back then, but it was good times. It was good times. I should rewatch it with my kids, really. And here you go. This is the foot soldier. A nice figure, and you can use those unboxing things as a reference which weapon goes where, because it's not too confusing here, but there are times where you don't know where the hand goes if you're trying to sell them at a later time and you want to box them again. So this is the melee weapons. So I don't really know what that bandana piece is for, because the other one that he is wearing is capable of moving around as well, so I'm not really quite sure. And this is the difference between his nunchucks to Splinter, is that he does have that chain, so it kind of moves around. It looks more realistic compared to Splinter, but with Splinter you can pose it. So this is one of the hands. It doesn't have that weird coloring kind of like Shredder, so it's just one tone. Shredder has like two tones in his hand, but he does have that guard on the back of his palm that has like some lettering on it, some Japanese character or whatever the case may be. And this is for the bladed weapon. They're all plastic, so none of them are actually die cast, which is good, because you can just imagine how heavy this would be if it is. But it looks good. The paint application is superb. Neca always does a good job, at least on the turtle side, and in general. Maybe I'm looking at them, I'm kind of expecting some different quality. Sometimes I forget that the price point that they sell their figures are at, which are really, I would say, affordable, compared to other high-end figures. But I must say, not particularly these foot soldiers, because they do look like, something that Neca does. But their Turtles one are superb. It looks like 3-0 or some high-end toys did the paint application. Even it translated well to the smaller scale, which is, I believe this is 1/9 scale, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the foot soldier, so he doesn't have an actual clothing. It is all made out of plastic, but it's okay. I still think it looks terrific. It doesn't have that glittery effect that Shredder does have, which is, I'm glad he does not. And moving down to the figure, he's wearing all black, so it's a bit boring to shoot. I didn't know their shoes looks like turtle toes, that it has kind of like some gap in the middle, but you can see there's without even going through the articulation, you can see he got some ankle pivot. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have some swivel or side to side on his thighs, but just joints on the elbows and knees and all that stuff. The sculpting of the figure is quite nice. You know, you can, even though it's all sculpted, you can see kind of like some wrinkles on his clothing, like he's moving around and all that stuff. It's all black, so maybe I should like lighten up this colorization. I don't know how well it's gonna transform to your TV, but not the most exciting figure. And as far as the head sculpt, got that bandana with the Japanese character or whatever character that is. I'm sorry if it's not Japanese. The bug-eyed kind of look. It's nice. It is really nice. So I can just imagine if you have the quarter scale, I'm sure the details are going to be a little bit more finer, a little more detailed compared to this smaller scale. Because, you know, let's be honest, it's harder to do the paint and the sculpting when the figure is this small. That's why I think the perfect medium is 1/6. For me, quarter scale is a little too big. It just occupies way too much space that it's not ideal. If it's okay if you only have like a couple, maybe 4 figures in 1D12 or 2D12s for that matter, if it's quarter scale. But once you exceed 5 or 6, that's where space is gonna come. It's like collecting statues. That's why I don't collect statues. I wanted more, and I know with the space that I have, I won't be able to accommodate all of those statues or those quarter scale figures. But as far as the head sculpt for this guy, you can see the rivets on his mouthpiece, all this honeycomb details on the eyepiece. It looks terrific. So as far as articulation here, you see the head moves around freely, the legs, and you can bend them. Can have them in a sitting position. The knees also bends out, and the shoulders. You can raise the arm up to an extent. You're gonna hit the upper portion of his clothing, but it's okay. There's really no waist movement here. There's no side to side on the bicep swivel, but it does the job done if you ask me. And here you go with some turtle action. So here they are. They are a bit taller than the turtles. And also with they're pretty much the same height, I would say, as Shredder. Well, that's pretty cool. And here you go, Michelangelo. This turtles, I've said it in other reviews. You can see Splinter kind of like passed out on that side, but they all look good together. Can't complain for the price with both of them. It's $50. Yeah, maybe you can see it as a little pricey, but I'm coming off Hot Toy, so. Yeah, I don't really see that as a pricey figure at all with what I have. Now, if I didn't have the turtles, obviously I wouldn't buy them. Maybe if I'm a big fan of Shredder, but without the turtles, definitely wouldn't buy any of these pieces. But I do have them, and I hope you do too. If you haven't picked up this turtles, again, if you want the quarter scale, head over to Big Bad. If you want just the smaller scale like this, I'll put the link on GameStop. Maybe they may or may not have this anymore. I know this was an SDCC exclusive at one point, and it was so hard to find. It was going on for hundreds of dollars. But now, since GameStop released them, not too much. But you can see Splinter. This is all the gang basically here. So as you can see, this entire set would cost me $200, which is nothing. One figure from Hot Toy. So definitely recommend all these figures if you haven't done so. But if you haven't, thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Follow me on Twitch because I stream there maybe 3 times a week now. Like this video, and I'll see you in the next review.